You're now listening to No Gimmicks.
No Gimmicks Podcast, and we bring it to you. Every time we turn live, man, you know it's the truth. Every after show, moving down, this the time we move around. No Gimmicks Podcast is going down. Every night, every time in the ring. This is the time for the No Gimmicks, no, we doing our thing. What's your state of mind? State of mind. Moving down a statement when we take the line. This is exactly wrestling the state design. When you see Stone Cold like me, with the stunner in the world, exactly, man, what we bring. Every night we move like Brock Lesnar, the F5, no gimmicks. We take you to your limit, what's the feeling? When we live in the air, you know we on, it's the time. Guarantee we move, you know how we respond. The state design, the state design when we feel it. Moving down, what's the healing? No gimmicks is the feeling.
Yo, what is up, people? Welcome back to the No Gimmicks Podcast here on the DFPN. And we are back 2026 live in effect. And before we start the show tonight, I really want to give everybody out there that checked up on me a shout out, man. Shout out to you, Frank D. Shout out to the whole DFPN team. Shout out to all my friends and family, man, for checking up on me, make sure I'm good. For those who don't know, I lost a really big piece of my life. My grandmother passed on January 20th. And without her, this show doesn't exist, bro. Like, she provided the space where I could go because my mom didn't like me watching wrestling at the house. She would open up her home. She pretty much raised me. Actually, no, pretty much. She did raise me. And without her providing that space, I don't watch the Monday Night Wars. I don't watch wrestling, ECW. I don't get into any of that. I don't get my first pay-per-view, which I ended up absolutely falling madly in love with wrestling with. And it's been a love of affection to this day. So I want to make sure that I give y'all a shout out. Thank you guys. It's been a really tough time, but you guys have been holding me up, holding the network down. So I want to make sure I give you guys your flowers for checking in on me. Greatly appreciate it, bro. Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, man. No problem.
Yeah, man. But we got a good show. Since we've been away, some things have happened that we got to talk about. There are some people that we have to talk about. But here's where we're going to do. We're going to start in the biggest place possible. We're going to start with WWE. Frank D, are you ready to get into the show? First and foremost, how you been, man?
Oh, I've been great, man. I'm just living life. I'm out here I'm sitting back in the shadows and I'm like, Palpatine. I'm just watching everybody act a damn fool pretty much while everybody's out there, iced out and all this bullshit. I'm making props and helmets and shit. Like I gives no fucks. You feel me?
Nah, man, I feel you.
I'm not trying to get like political or nothing, but I'm gonna keep it 1,000.
Keep it 1,000.
This shit gets kind of like, this shit gets just overwhelming sometimes when you open up your fucking Facebook and all you see is ICE protesters ICE. That's all you see. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like now we got fuck ICE. So is fuck ICE supposed to be the new fuck the police? Is that what we got going on? You feel me? I don't know. I don't get it. But honestly, like just I like to be in my own safe space. You feel me? And my safe space is what I do, which is make props, Star Wars, talk to the homie right here, shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about all the rest. I actually have a fucking life, so I ain't got to be out there in the midst of all the bullshit. You dig what I'm saying?
No, I dig what you. I pick up what you putting down, brother. I really am. And on that note, I know it seems like shit is topsy turvy all over the place. I have been dealing with life stuff, so my focus has been on life.
Right.
You know, I mean, it is what it is, bro. Like I started to show off. Like I was losing a big chunk of my life when a bunch of this stuff was going down. So
right.
I would urge anybody. I would urge anybody listening, man. Like focus on the stuff that's important to you. You know, because you never know when you're gonna lose that stuff, man. Like whatever makes you happy, cling on to it. You know what I mean? Enjoy it. Life is too short for the fickle stuff, man. So that's what I would urge everybody to do.
Yeah, homie, I just honestly, bro, like I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand it. It's like
Nobody has the answer right now, and that's where the country is. You know what I mean? Nobody has answers, but that's why I say, man, whatever's important to you, cling on to it, make it happy, make yourself happy, bro, and you know, just be positive. That's the only thing I can offer people right now. Like be positive, bro.
And now that we've gotten that PSA out the way, now we're about to get into these motherfuckers.
All right, here we go. We're gonna start off with WWE. Royal Rumble 2026.
Royal Fumble.
Kicked off in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And first and foremost, what I do want to give them props for, because they are really good at this, the Saudis. Like they built the stadium in a little over a month from ground up. And the work they did to put that set together, props. Straight up props. Because from scratch to what that was presented as on Saturday night, I got to give y'all kudos for that. But that's where the kudos is about to stop, bro. Like it is confusing. It's always been confusing to me why WWE chooses Saudi Arabia, and outside of the money, right? And
that's the only reason why.
Outside of the money, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you're gonna get paid. Yeah, you're gonna make a lot of money. But what's the real cost of this relationship? Right. And I think we started to see the cost of that relationship because that stadium was not full. And you could put the lights, the lighting. I've seen people I know people that were there that actually took the trip to Saudi Arabia to go watch the Royal Rumble. And there's video floating out there. That arena was not full. It was not 3/4 full. It was about half, and it was scattered out. And I think you're starting to see that. And this is for a place like they are known to like give away seats, give away seating, right? It's entertainment for them. And someone asked a question in the No Gimmicks podcast fan group. Shout out to you guys. What's the thoughts on it? And my thought is this: WWE doesn't care about it. They don't care about the attendance. They already got paid for this event. And as long as they got the money for this event, the attendance doesn't matter to them. And at what point do you actually think about that? So my thought is, what's going to happen with WrestleMania? Are you going to encounter the same thing? Because you got to go back over there for WrestleMania next year. Is that going to be as important? That crowd didn't really look too enthusiastic throughout the night. Is that something that you're going to have to worry about? Are you just an entertainment trick? And that's my issue. Are you just entertainment? And I get it. People are going to have their feelings about it, but I'm going to compare it to their sister brand, the UFC. Anytime the UFC goes over there, UFC does big business. The UFC fills up the stadium. the UFC's fans in Saudi Arabia are actually invested in the event. We did not get this on the WWE side. So my question is why? Why aren't you getting the love over in Saudi Arabia? But I want to know your thoughts, Frank D. What do you think of this situation and as attendance? Then with Saudi, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, like you, when I saw the stadium being built in a couple of weeks, I was like, whoa. And then when I saw the stage that they put up for this event, I was like, wow. Okay. So those things I like. Now, when you talk about just the relationship with the Saudis, period, it's questionable due to, I mean, how they treat the women. I think the women get, the raw deal over there all the time. And we saw that with the Women's Royal Rumble. They get the raw deal. Also, if you kind of want to look at this situation, since they've been doing events in Saudi, it started off okay, but it's been diminishing returns event after event after event. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that really they don't have any real star power in WWE. WWE is able to sell themselves just off the brand name WWE. Yep. That's it. They don't have anything else to pull from anymore. We can't go back and say, oh man, this show is excellent, or this show is great, or they're doing this and they're doing that. No, there's no enthusiasm anymore to put on top quality sports entertainment because we already got our money. We've already been paid. Those days are gone. You and I were kind of having a little discussion like we always do about, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. And I pose the question to you, is that really a big match? Because guess what? It's already bought and paid for. WrestleMania is already bought and paid. Las Vegas already paid for that. You feel me? So I don't really see it as a big match myself. Honestly think the bigger match probably, and I know people are going to be like, oh, Frankie, you're out of your mind. You're crazy. No, it would have completed the story. I think they really should have probably went down to Cody Roman Reigns one more time. That story concludes with a Cody Rhodes heel turn. That's what I would have done.
Yep.
But they're obviously going in another direction. But also, once again, I think the star power is a problem. I think that the creative process is a problem. I just think that they have they put themselves in a corner here where they can't get out of it. And they're relying, and Roman Reigns actually talked about this the other day where he says, I was a champion for a couple of years. I lose the belt to Cody. Now it's time to do other shit and build other people. Now I'm gonna tell you this. When I heard this is what I thought about. Roman Reigns right now in this business, not as big as him, okay? But in current modern day WWE, Roman Reigns is Hulk Hogan.
I agree with that.
They have right now, right?
I agree with that.
When Hogan wanted to kind of slow down a little bit, wanted to go to Hollywood, wanted to go do some movies, all of this, who do we got coming up that's going to take my spot? The Ultimate Warrior. They went with the Warrior. Remember, Warrior was going to push. Warrior defeated Honky Tonk Man at SummerSlam 89. Or SummerSlam 88. Defeated Honky Tonk Man for the Intercontinental Championship. The push continued, right? Then you remember they had the Mega Powers explode. After that, you bring Warrior and Hogan together. They're putting these two forces together because Hogan wants to go do other shit. He's leaving they're leaving this for Warrior. Now, Cody ran into the same issue when he became a champion that the Warrior had. He had no opponents. They had nobody ready for the Ultimate Warrior. Yep. We had no one. So what did we rely on? We had to go back to Ravishing Rick Rude. We had to eventually go to the Macho Man or Sergeant Slaughter. He had nobody. And then business got so rough, they had to bring Hogan had to come back to save the day again. Roman is in that position now where it's so bad, and they can say, "Oh my God, we're doing record business and whoop-de-whoop and all that." Okay, the show sucks. All right, the show sucks. So you got to now bring the biggest star you have, which is Roman Reigns. The only one who gets a pop out there, which is Roman Reigns. You bring him back to save the day now. Because
Yep.
Roman has come in and basically, I got to right the wrongs here that you guys haven't elevated anybody. You guys haven't done anything. What has Cody done?
He said
Nothing.
this.
He hasn't done anything. Is
Yeah, he
that
said
Cody's
that.
fault? I'll put Cody. I'll put a little bit of blame on Cody because Cody should have enough stroke around there where he can say creatively, "I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to go a little bit here." He did that with Drew. He says, "Okay, I want to drop the belt to Drew." Okay, we've done that. But on Raw, they told you the hierarchy already of how they see the business. The World Championship is the number one title right now in the
Yep.
company. Why?
They established
Because
that.
Roman is going for that championship.
Yep.
Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu, SmackDown, that's secondary. Roman said it last night, they're on Netflix, they're on the best show, the top
biggest
show, biggest show. That's it. They're already telling you what it is.
Yep.
So after WrestleMania, when the Tribal Chief becomes the champion again, what then do you have for him at this point? What do you have for Roman Reigns? Because now Roman Reigns will have to carry the ball again.
Yeah.
Because you've elevated no one. You had a chance with Brian Breaker. You didn't do it. You had a countless chance with LA Knight. We know LA Knight is self-sabotaging. You botched John Cena. You kind of botched Jey Uso. I mean, tell me when I'm telling lies.
No lies. No lies. And the guy that you have right is going to lead me to another point. The guy that you have right now that you are trying to elevate is a legend killer, and that's Gunther. They're trying to, and I don't. They did him in reverse too, because Gunther had it at one point. Gunther was the guy at one point, and that whole Jey Uso run he's collateral in that. So now they're trying to build him back up. But why would you do that and put him in there? Okay, Cena, I get. Cena you can capitalize off of. You retired John Cena. Why are we putting him in a retirement role? He's the guy that's picking off AJ Styles now. Speaking of AJ Styles, it felt like his retirement run was entirely too forced. And it was just like it just it's like we're in the middle of Cena's. They don't even announce like this is AJ's last run at it, right? All of a sudden he's in matches that we've been wanting him to see him in with people. We finally get him in Shinsuke. That was a great match, but that kind of signaled like I'm wrestling everybody I need to wrestle before I get up out of here. And then he loses to Gunther. And it's like that whole retirement run that he had, it just felt forced. And now it's like, did he actually retire? That's the question on everybody's mind. Did he really retire? Is he really done? And no one seems to have the answer to that question. It's just it's weird. The booking is weird right now. And outside of what they did last night was kind of like, we're going to throw this at the wall. Yeah, we have an idea for a WrestleMania main event. They ran with it. I thought last night that angle worked, but other than that, the booking hasn't been solid, man. There's been holes all over the place.
Yeah, and going back to Gunther, I mean, dude, this Gunther career killer was tailor-made for Brian Breaker. Because
absolutely
Scott Steiner, his uncle, did a similar gimmick in WCW towards the end there, when he was basically retiring all the legends. Like, literally, you never saw these people again on WCW TV.
Yep.
They were all supposed to come back during the Big Bang pay-per-view event. That was going to happen. But you never saw these people again. I mean, if anybody could have got a win over Cena, that would have deserved it. Brian Breaker was the guy that could have been made from that. AJ Styles, another one that he could have, picked off. And I'm just thinking with AJ Styles here, it's just AJ's quote unquote retirement was just so abrupt. Like it came out of nowhere. And I'm like, damn, why did AJ want out so bad? Like, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta think too. Up until the Cena retirement tour, AJ really wasn't doing nothing.
No, he was floundering, bro. Like
He
AJ's been floundering for a few years now. Like, I'm no disrespect to AJ Styles. I've watched AJ Styles since Air Raid, okay, in
yeah,
WCW. If y'all know that, then you know what
yeah.
I'm talking about. Because AJ came in there teaming with Eric Paris at the end of WCW, and he was out there just putting on kick-ass matches. But here's the thing, AJ, in my opinion, hadn't been booked correctly. AJ should have always been in that championship contingency all the time. Should have been in the World Championship picture. Should have been in the WWE Championship picture. AJ should have always been there. There's no reason why AJ Styles should have been, tag teaming with Dragon Lee and being tag team champions or whatever the hell they had going on there. That should not have happened. This is the phenomenal AJ Styles that you're talking about here. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't liked this booking for a while now. And another one that I thought that they could have done something with as far as like elevating the talent, that's someone who could be this snarky ass heel that could have got this situation. Why not have given it to Dominic Mysterio? And this goes back to the Cena situation.
Yep.
Why not have given it to Dominic?
Yep.
It's just a lot of mistakes here, bro.
Yeah, it's you have lightning and then you don't put it in a bottle. Because in all of these situations, like with Braun, you had lightning in a bottle. You just didn't put the cap on it. Right. with Dom, you had lightning in a bottle, especially what he was doing with AAA. Didn't capitalize on it. Right. And not only that, I feel like in hindsight, the Cena loss for the Intercontinental Champion kind of that championship, it kind of derailed him a little bit. Granted, he's still hot, but I'm talking like this dude was on fire. And right. I think he should have beat Cena. That's just me though.
I don't think there would have been any reason whatsoever why he should not have gotten that win. Like that should have been the one. John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio, Saturday Night's Main Event, his retirement. I mean, Dominic could have bragged about that for years. And just like when Rey Mysterio retires, he should be retired by his kid.
Yep.
I mean, and that's and that's what it should be. And I think at that point, that's when you turn Dominic babyface. Like his last name would be him shaking his dad's hand or whatever. You turn him babyface, but that's a different, different story for a different day.
If you do that retirement match, it has to be at Mania. It has to be at Mania.
Right.
But yeah, there's so many chances that they had, and it's just like they build and kill. And I don't get that. I really don't get it. But yeah, it's just like they're on this path. But speaking of build and kill, Jey Uso has been really, really loud lately. Especially on social media, man. He's been letting people know his thoughts, what he's feeling. As recently as today, like the word cinema, y'all owe that to the bloodline. He's been popping off, man.
I'm still trying to figure out what exactly is like setting him off here.
You know what? I would say this is kind of frustration. And I think they're working, but I think this is kind of frustration. Because if you look at Jey Uso is also one of those guys that even his dad has been the vocal one, but it seems like now Jey is kind of taking over that reign, like being more vocal about his stance in the company. He was main event Jey Uso. Now they put him in the tag team with his brother. I hope everything is good with his brother and Trent. We haven't seen him in a while, but they put him in a situation. They built him up to be a main event guy, and he's not that no more. And I think he wants back in, honestly. And the way he's going about it is just like, y'all owe us a lot for what we've done. And on a lot of notes, it's kind of hard to argue against what he's saying, but on the same token, Roman worked Roman wasn't the most liked guy in the world, but Roman flipped the script, made himself a main event guy. I think you need to follow suit here. That's just me, though.
Well, I think this is what the problem that Jey Uso is having, and we've seen it countless times with different wrestlers in the business. Jey Uso has yet to have that really big heel run. Hasn't happened yet. And I think that he's kind of once again one of these guys that's kind of in the corner where you're kind of like, okay, we know what you're gonna do. You're gonna yeet, and you're one dimensional, and that's all you have to offer. And I think when he's talking about the family and all that, I think it comes back to kind of the negative reaction that Roman Reigns got online after winning the Rumble. And I think people need to realize something. Listen, Roman Reigns has to win the Rumble because they have nobody else to win the Rumble. Nobody else is ready. They have nobody. That's the issue here. They have nobody.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys aren't as big as they proclaim to be, because if they were, then they would not have to go back to Roman Reigns. They needed Roman Reigns to be there. Roman Reigns already said, I am main eventing WrestleMania. So you already know Roman's going on night 2. That's a fact.
As soon as Punk walked out, I was like, that's night 2, bro. That's automatically night 2.
But then, speaking of CM Punk, Mr. Hypocrite himself here that wants to come out and say, wrestling fans, what do you say? Wrestling fans have, if they want to sit around and talk about this shit, they got mental illness and all this other bullshit. Now, motherfucker, you're the one who had the mental illness. That's why you're asking to stay employed at AEW.
Oh,
because of your mental illness. And just, the other day wanting to, throw shade at Hulk Hogan, like, damn, bro, like what are you so upset about? He says, Peter Rosenberg says, oh, I remember a time when we were all, Hulk Hogan fans. And he says, I don't know where you grew up. Let me explain something to you. I wasn't a big Hulk Hogan fan when I was growing up, but I knew Hulk Hogan was the man. I knew that
it's impossible.
I knew that Hogan is the biggest. Hogan's the biggest star. I'm sorry, but CM Punk will never be that. CM Punk is not a household name. If CM Punk is a household name, he's a household name for being a dude that quit and then went on Coca Bennett's podcast and bitched about it. That's what I remember about CM Punk. I just don't like. I don't like the fact that Mr. Punk wants to come to the whip and he wants to start running his mouth about fans. And I'm like, you are the same CM Punk that you've always been. And that's the reason why I can't stand your ass. Because you're the same guy. And I don't see shit. What I see is a ragged fucking 65-year-old man out there trying to keep up with the Jey Usos and the Cody Rhodes and the Roman Reigns. You're not in Roman Reigns' league, Phil. You're not. He said that shit on Raw. I'm straight shooting. You're not in that league. I don't. When I see you out there, I'm like, why is this guy on my TV? It's like fucking. It's like when Jim Cornette said a story a long time ago about why is Tim Horner singing on Smoky Mountain Wrestling? That's the same thing I said when I see CM Punk on it. Why is CM Punk on the TV? I mean, should you be diving into the crowd, breaking your foot? Like, come on, man.
Hey, he be doubling down too.
Oh yeah, he has a problem. He has an issue. He just runs his mouth about all sorts of things and he just tries to be Captain Save-A-Hole now. And he's a social justice warrior and all this bullshit. And my thing is this, dude, just shut up and try to wrestle. That's all you gotta do. Get out there with that 70-year-old body of yours and get out there and try to wrestle and try to be entertaining. Okay? Instead of coming out there all the time trying to cut another pipe bomb, because that's all you're known for is the pipe bomb. That's it. Other than that, what have you done? I'm being dead ass serious. Other than that, what have you done that's legendary outside of that fucking pipe bomb? Nothing. Oh, I know. You're the guy who went to AEW and got into it in the backstage with the Elite and got sent home. That's what it is. Or
It's
you're the one
funny.
who got into it. You got into the backstage fight with Jungle Boy, and that was the end of you in AEW.
Mm.
That's what you're known for. Got it. I understand now.
Yep.
So I get it. I totally get it. We have mental illness because we want to talk about this shit. I totally get it. CM Punk that guy is what you call. I mean, he is just the man. He's a corporate shill, is what he is at this point. He's just a corporate guy. There is no voice to voiceless. He's just CM Punk. I'm happy to be here, Massa, and I have a job. That's it.
I did find it funny. During that promo because Roman let him have it too. He was like, when you are on vacation mode, like I make sure I go to city and town to town. And Roman was like, you do that because you left for 10 years and you have to. And that's like, it's
Right.
like, bro, people see through that. People do see through that, man. Just be honest about the situation. But he can't. And it is at a point to where, like, man, we get it. You found yourself back in a situation, right? And I hate being like it was only a matter of time, but it was only a matter of time because we've seen this movie. He was like that in AEW. He was happy to be there until he wasn't. And it's starting to show his face a little bit in WWE. And I think that promo last night, if it don't push him a little bit, that's a hell of a work.
No, here's the thing.
Roman was shooting some live rounds in that promo.
Here's the thing. It's not necessarily that it's starting to show. It's always been there.
Right.
But that disdain that he has is the same disdain that Triple K has. Same shit. That's how they think. Remember, they don't listen to the audience. They don't listen to the audience so much that all of a sudden now they want to start hiring all these black talents and want to start pushing them.
That is a fact.
But you don't listen to the audience. You know what I'm saying?
That is a fact.
You don't listen to what we have said and all the other podcasters out there have said. You don't pay attention to the internet, right? You fucking did. That's why you brought in Powerhouse Hobbs. Shout out to that guy. I'm happy for Hobbs.
I'm super happy for Hobbs.
Obafemi up there on the main roster now. Trick Williams on the main roster now. Carmelo Hayes, the United States champion. Fuck out of here. What do you mean you don't listen to the audience? You do listen.
Not only that.
Oh, by the way, saw a video of you the other day doing the monkey dance when Mark Henry was coming to the ring on Monday Night Raw. You probably should have cut that from the network when you had a chance, buddy.
Yep. That's not a good look. But speaking of Obafemi, like not only did you have Obafemi debut, you had him beat the War Raiders, bro, in a handicap match.
Like, yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. It's the War Raiders.
But here's where that could backfire, right? Because you have two big men in the War Raiders and you have Obafemi beating them. What is going to happen when you have Obafemi versus a Brock Lesnar? Because you know that's where they're going with it.
Supposedly, from what I read on the internet, in the source says, "Trust me, bro." That's not that supposedly that's not in the plans.
Yeah, but that same source, trust me, bro, was also saying Jericho was supposed to debut in the Rumble.
Trust me, bro. Jericho he's coming, man. He's going to show. He was supposed to be there every day, but Jericho, the creative plans got switched at the last second, so they decided to not bring a man to Saudi to get a huge payday. You know, they decided to keep him off.
Keep him off for a Raw day.
Keep him off. Yeah, keep him off for a throwaway Raw event. Yeah, we'll do that. You know, on our road to the Elimination Chamber. Trust me, bro, that's the plan.
It's just, come on, man. Like, seriously? Seriously? And everybody's like, he's going to debut. He's still on the AEW roster page. You know who wasn't on the AEW roster page? Powerhouse Hobbs. And guess what?
That section of the roster page.
Right. He debuted. You know what I'm saying? So until we see movement like that, I'm not believing nothing.
Hey, but what was up with the lack of reaction for Hobbs at the Saudi show? Do you think people didn't know who he was, or was it because the sound went up, or just because nobody over there was digging him or any of the other black talents that came out?
I think it's a combination of the latter.
Uh
And I'm gonna just be honest, man. I'm gonna just be honest.
huh. Yeah.
Saudi, Saudi, and people of color, particularly the women, they don't give them great reactions. It just is what it is. I'm not gonna be blind to the situation.
Right.
I think it's a combination of that and people just don't know who Hobbs is because you have Obafemi. They love Obafemi. Obafemi is known, right?
Are they
They
were they really reacting to Obafemi, or was that pipe
they
thing?
actually did. They panned out. They panned out to the crowd. The crowd was actually
Okay.
digging him.
Okay.
So there's that, but also they don't know who Powerhouse Hobbs is. And if you introduce him as Powerhouse Hobbs, then cut to Royce Keys, like they're not gonna know this guy. I think WWE missed a really big opportunity with presenting Hobbs as a star who's making the debut. There was no vignettes. They tried to make this seem as a surprise. You can't do that with people like Hobbs in a place like Saudi. Like he's out of the country. He's not really known. He's not supposed to be known on WWE platforms, and you got to introduce him properly. I don't think the Royal Rumble was the place to introduce him, but again, I'm happy for him. I really do hope WWE sees what they have in him. I know they did like the YouTube clip of him
Yeah.
behind the scenes. I do
Yeah, I sent
like
it to
that
you.
they did that. Yeah, I do love that they did that. But I would like for them to actually present this guy as a powerhouse that he is, right? A star, because he is a star. Give him that star treatment. Put him on a pedestal. Let him do his thing. He can wrestle. He can move. He can work like a big man. Let him do his thing, bro. And when whatever show he's gonna be on, like put a story behind him before you bring him out to the audience. Talk about what he did in the Royal Rumble, who he eliminated in the Royal Rumble, and build off of that. But I don't think introducing him that way was a great call. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and honestly, I understand the significance of the name that he chose.
Yeah.
I don't like the name. I don't I the name doesn't work for me. I think that if he would have been Powerhouse Keys, I think that kind of sounds a little bit better. But when you, just like you said, you put Powerhouse Hobbs on the Tron and then you change it to Royce Keys, okay, you're already kind of distracting the audience, like what's going on here, And
Yeah.
me personally, if you wanted to make a big impact, a big splash with this guy, I would have saved his debut for the Monday Night Raw that they had in Philly. I would have had him
Yeah.
come out there
Yeah.
and debut. I would have had him come out there, and it's just me booking. I would have had him come out there and attack Roman Reigns. That's what I would have done.
I would have did that too. I would have did that too.
That's how you started off. But other than that, I'm happy for Powerhouse Hobbs to finally be on there. You can see how excited he was being in Saudi, how grateful he was to be there, having Cody there. You put Cody over as a guy who's always been there, and I'm
Yep.
Cody has something to do with him coming over. Come on, you can see it.
At this
But
point, bro, like if they come from AEW and they were an early guy, that's a Cody guy.
absolutely. So and the thing that people got to realize too is that I'm listen. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. You put him right to the main roster. He bypassed NXT. Powerhouse Hobbs he went right to the main roster. You didn't get that with Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks
Right.
is still in NXT. So
Right.
obviously they got big plans for Hobbs in WWE. And I just the Royce Keys name. I'm not feeling the name. Maybe it'll grow, but the man is Powerhouse Hobbs. That's what he built himself on, is Powerhouse Hobbs. And it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to I know how the WWE mentality is well, what you did before you got here doesn't matter. Well, it kind of does if you put it on a fucking screen. You acknowledging his former self, and then you change the Roy's keys.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with Finn Balor. Remember when Finn Balor debuted for NXT, the screen said Prince Devitt.
They did that for a lot of the early guys. They did that for a lot of people.
Yeah, so I mean, it is what it is. I just wish that, and it could be, once again, it could be a WWE thing of them wanting to own the name. That could be a situation as well. So we'll see what happens. Listen, sky's the limit for Powerhouse Hobbs. I know Hobbs can be a huge star.
Yeah,
WWE. I've said it for a while there. He, along with Wardlow, they look like WWE guys.
Yeah.
So, like I said, sky's the limit. It's pretty much where how they push him, where Triple H wants to take him. That's kind of where it's going to be. Is he going to be a major superstar, or is he going to be somebody that's going to be, floundering in the mid card? He'll be a U.S. champion here, an IC champion there. He'll be in the Rumble, but he's only going to get eliminated all the time. Is that what his future holds? I mean, I guess we'll wait and see, right?
I hope not, but again, I just hope they realize what they have in him. Because I do, he's one of the people, like, I wanted so much more for him in AEW. I'm glad he's getting this opportunity, and I hope they capitalize on it. I really do.
Yeah.
So, speaking of AEW, let's jump. Actually, before we do that, let's cap out this WWE talk. WWE 2K26. They built up a lot of buzz with the additions. So the first edition they teased was the Monday Night Wars edition.
Yeah.
And I was like, you have my money, bro. They teased the Attitude Era edition.
Right.
And then they teased the Monday Night Wars edition. I'm like, bro, right. you have my full wallet right now in your hand. Just do what you need to do. I'm interested in what stories they're going to tell.
Yeah.
How you're going to be able to play this, who you're actually going to be playing as, what this is going to entail, and then the Attitude Era. What storylines are you putting in that? They do have a King of Kings mode that Triple H can't help himself, man. Like he has to be a focal point. And it's weird that you have these two good modes, and then you have this. So they have 4 editions. They have the standard King of Kings edition, the Attitude Era edition, and then the Monday Night Wars edition. That's 4 editions, and just get the highest one, bro. Like, you're gonna get all the content. But yeah, so you have those editions. But I'm just interested and curious what they're gonna be putting into these games, and what the storylines are going to be. What are you looking forward to for this game?
Honestly, my guy, I'm not really too excited about it. Because the Monday Night War version looked good to me, but then I had to think about it for a second. Well, you're missing 2 major components for the Monday Night War, and that's you're missing Sting and you're missing Ric Flair. So how do you do the Monday Night War there without Sting? Sting was a big part of WCW during that time frame, fighting the NWO. Yeah. So how do you do that? Well, where like you mentioned the stories. Okay, what other story can you tell in WCW during that time frame? Unless you're going to do a mode where you're going to have matches between WWF and WCW wrestlers. Well, that doesn't matter because I can do that shit already. So what are you going to do? That's a selling point for this game to be $150.
Here's what you can do. There's a moment in time that you can go to, and you can let the player decide how you want that moment to play out. The moment I'm referring to is the tank pulling up to the WCW arena. And you can choose if you want to open the door or not. And if they do that, I'm in.
Well, okay, since we're going down this rabbit hole, even though once again, it's not possible to do this because you don't have Sting. You have the Hostile Takeover match. Hall and
Mhm.
Nash, mystery partner, versus Sting, Savage, and Lex Luger. Hulk Hogan makes a choice. Does Hogan turn or does he not turn? Sound like a what if situation.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
doesn't turn, and he attacks Hall and Nash. Those are the only way you can do these type of things. It's no different than Star Wars. Like, how do we fix Star Wars? Well, you go to World Between the Worlds, right?
Yep.
You know. But for me, bro, unless they got some like secret Sting they're gonna bring out, I'm not sold on it, because you have Starrcade 97 Arena in the game, but you don't have the big match that was built around Starrcade 97, which was Hollywood Hulk Hogan versus Sting. You don't have Sting. That's the problem. So that's the big problem for me. And now we're going to take this conversation into something that was in the group the other day. And we talked about this.
Yep.
And it's like Triple H gets his own cover, his own Photoshopped cover. Okay? And it's like people are debating here. Was Triple H a huge part of the Attitude Era? Now, before I go into a soliloquy, as Dusty would say, okay, I'm going to let you take your spiel. Was Triple H a big part of the Attitude Era, in your opinion?
This may be a bit of a controversial take. I don't care. I'm going to say no. And the reason I'm saying no is because if you take Triple H as part of a group like DX, yes, he was a big part of the Attitude Era. But as a group, what storylines during the Attitude Era did Triple H really, as an individual performer, contribute to? As an individual, he wasn't as large a presence as an individual as he was with DX. Now, when he started DX, it was him and Shawn Michaels. And even then, you can argue that Michaels was the bigger star of the two. Triple H was not the star of the show, right? Austin, Michaels, Attitude Era. That's what kicked off this whole run. You can't argue that Stone Cold wasn't the biggest part of the Attitude Era. He was. But
Right.
Austin, Michaels at WrestleMania with Mike Tyson is one of the biggest moments of the Attitude Era.
Right.
So you can argue once he put DX together, he was picking up the pieces. But was he the star of the show? They kind of shared that responsibility. It's like the Bullet Club with AJ Styles. They were all stars. Yeah, you could point to that guy as being the kind of de facto leader, but they all shared that star responsibility. So you had Road Dogg and Jesse James. You had X-Pac. You had China. These guys were over. They were over massively. Was Triple H the bigger star of the show then? You can't even argue that. Because at different points in that faction's history, you could argue China was a big deal. You could argue X-Pac was a big deal. You could argue the New Age Outlaws were a big deal. And towards the tail end of the Attitude Era is when Triple H started to gain traction as a main event star. But for me personally, it's about DX, the group, and not necessarily Triple H. Though I can get the argument of people saying Triple H, because of DX and his involvement with DX, he was a big part of the Attitude Era. You can argue that for a lot of people in groups at that time, though, if that's the case. So that's just my point. So what say you?
Well, so looking back on his career, I'm going to have to agree. Like, when I think about Triple H and his contributions to the Attitude Era, I mean, dude, you were a part of a faction. You were a part of two iterations of the faction. You had the first one with Rick Rude, China, Shawn Michaels, and yourself. Then you had the second iteration. Actually, no, 3 iterations. My bad, because I forgot the one with Mike Tyson.
Yep.
So you took over the reins after WrestleMania 14. You bring out X-Pac, China, then the Outlaws join. Okay, that was fun stuff. That was good TV when they were going down there to WCW and all that stuff. Okay, now other than that, can I point to something that Triple H did storyline wise that made him the biggest star in the company? No, you were a part of a big angle, the McMahon Helmsley era faction. But guess what? That came at a time when Stone Cold Steve Austin wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you got the push. But the other person that was actually keeping that going was The Rock. The 2 biggest stars. Matter of fact, the 3 biggest stars of the Attitude Era on the WWE side of things were always The Rock, Stone Cold, and Mr. McMahon.
Yep.
Period.
Always.
Those were the top 3. The top 3 guys. The side characters, the supporting characters, were then The Undertaker, Mankind, Kane, the Outlaws, everybody else. And Triple H, you in the category of everybody else. Because you got the strap, at SummerSlam 99, or excuse me, the night after SummerSlam 99 is when you got the strap. You beat Mankind because Austin didn't want to do the job for you. You move on after that. By the time Triple H really started, like you said, gaining traction and started really, coming to his own as the main eventer, the Attitude Era was over. We were going into, the ending of WCW.
Yep.
And he would have that run a little bit with Austin.
Yep.
As the two-man power trip.
Yep.
And he got injured, came back, had a little run, turned heel again. Evolution happens. That's when Triple H really came into his own. Is during the Evolution run, the Reign of Terror, quote unquote.
Agree.
So, was he a huge part of the Attitude Era? No, Triple H was a huge part of moments during the Attitude Era. But I would dare say the New Age Outlaws were more over than Triple H was in DX.
I would agree with that.
Raws. I've seen plenty of Monday Night Raws where people would come with big ass signs that said, "Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, D-Generation X probably brings to you its WWF Tag Team Champions of the World." They would have this big ass sign with the whole saying up there. You didn't see anybody bringing a big ass sign with that for Triple H or any saying of "I'm the game." You didn't see that. You damn sure don't see anybody bringing signs talking about, "Did you enjoy the show?" You don't see that shit.
No, I agree, bro.
You weren't a part. You weren't a big part of it, bro. You were one of the supporting cast members. The big parts of the Attitude Era were Austin, The Rock, Mr. McMahon, NWO. That's it.
Agreed.
And if it hadn't been for the NWO, there would have been no Attitude Era. Period. That doesn't happen. That don't happen because Vince doesn't have a reason for it to happen.
Agreed. Very much agree.
It's not photoshopping your chest.
You caught that too, huh?
You didn't think we gonna catch that, huh? It's like I seen a video the other day. They have a match on the WWE Vault channel with Triple H and Bret Hart, and it's funny because they have Triple H dominating Bret in the screenshot.
Never.
Like Triple H, he can never. He can never look weak at all. He just has that ego, and people say Bret Hart had an ego. Hey, bro, like really?
Hey, the more time that goes by, Bret Hart was spitting straight facts. The more time that goes by, Bret be looking right, bro.
Well, I think people got to realize something about Bret Hart, and this is like straight up. This is like for real. People got to realize Bret Hart had a stroke.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people that have strokes, like they have emotional difficulties, and I think that's what a lot of Bret's situation is. So like 1 minute Bret could be real cool, then the next minute Bret could go off on you. Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with his situation. So
I agree.
Some people should be don't get too mad at Bret. He can't help it.
Nah, but did he lie though?
No, he's not lying. He's not lying. But I'm just saying though. I'm just,
though?
yeah. He's not lying. I'm just saying.
His approach might be crazy.
His approach might be lethal, but he ain't
but
lying.
is he lying?
Hey, speaking of lethal, where the hell is Jay Lethal?
Jay Lethal's in ROH. Speaking of which, that's a good segue. Let's get into some AEW real quick. So glad you brought up Jay Lethal because he is in ROH, and I do want to send a shout out. One of the shows that we work with here on MPX, on No Gimmicks, is MPX, and MPX and ROH actually have on the 29th. Global Wars. Actually, they did it on the 31st. Global Wars. They taped it. It will be coming out this Thursday, February 5th, on the Honor Club. Very, very dope that they got this opportunity. It's MPX, ROH doing a Global Wars, the first of its kind. I heard nothing but great things about it. Shout out to JJ Jefferson, who covered for No Gimmicks and was able to attend that event. Heard nothing but great things about it. They are looking to do more of these types of things. And I'll just go out on record, man. I am proud of MPX and the work that we've been able to do with them. So for them to be able to get in this position with AEW and ROH and have this global war, I hope it leads to more with them. I wouldn't mind watching MPX become like a developmental for AEW. That would be awesome. But keep doing your thing, MPX. It's been awesome to see the rise. Shout out to Athena, who's the GOAT right now, man, and the work that she's been able to do, not only with MPX, but ROH. And I know a lot of people be like, she should be the champion. I would argue being the champion would probably take a little bit of steam off the work that she's doing behind the scenes.
Right.
So selfishly, I know that's a goal, but man, seeing the work that she's putting in with MPX and putting these people on a pedestal. Shout out to Maya World and Hyon. Maya World is someone who's very early on No Gimmicks and someone we supported throughout her beginning of her career. Awesome to see her and Hyon in AEW right now. There's a lot of people that we've had on this show that are touching ROH and AEW, and it's just it's an amazing time to see it, man. So I do want to make sure we give them their flowers. And yeah, man, shout out to AEW for making this happen. But I did want to talk about the Arlington residency because it seems like they have been using Arlington as a test bed. And it felt like this during this last run. They got a lot of good matches out of Arlington. They did a lot of experimenting out of Arlington. And it just feels like the culture of AEW has changed from last year to this year. Was a monumental shift, man. And they did something really smart this time with the residency. They added like upper seating. So the first time they were here was all flat. This time they added like a bleacher style seating up in the East Sports Arena. It looked a whole lot better. The presentation was awesome. It was loud, and it just feels like AEW. I told you this offline, but it feels like they're starting to get back to that feeling that they had in 2019. It really does feel like that.
Yeah. No, I'm hearing nothing but positivity about their product, especially bringing over Tommaso Ciampa and the fact that he just debuted for them and won the championship on Collision, the TNT championship. So, I mean, that's a big deal.
That's a huge deal.
You know, listen, I think sky's the limit for them on what they want to do.
Yeah.
And speaking of that right quick, speculation, and this is going to tie into this. AJ Styles.
Yeah,
okay? We're hearing the stories about AJ Styles right now in his career. Where do you think he ends up? I have a feeling. I think he ends up in AEW. I think that's one place he hasn't conquered yet.
Yep.
And I think he wants to do that.
Yep.
I think he can do some business down there with them. I can see AJ and Swerve. I can see AJ and MJF. I can see AJ and Tommaso. AJ Hangman Page. There's a lot of cats he can work with down there in AW. AJ Shelton Benjamin.
Yep.
You know?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of
there's a lot of work, and if he really does want a retirement, I think AEW is the perfect place to end it. I really do. I do think they'll send him out properly. I do think they'll maximize his star power on the way out, and he'll have a good ending. I really do believe that. So if that is it, if that is what he truly wants, I think you got to give it a run, man. I really do. Give it a shot. The fans will appreciate it. I know they'll commentate it and build you up a story that if you really truly want to ride off into the sunset, look at Sting. You can you don't have to be flashy and put on crazy matches, but just something that says, hey, I'm on my way out the door. Let's have a good time. Hell yeah. Give it to me.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm all for that. And yeah, like I said before, AEW, they are finding their stride. Yeah. I do enjoy the residencies that they put on. It gives them it almost kind of gives you that old, TBS WCW center stage.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it gives you, those kind of vibes there when they're at a central place. Because I watch a lot now. When I had the WWE Network was on Peacock, I used to watch a lot of the old World Championship Wrestling shows that they used to do at Center Stage, and I saw one every day, bro. I had never seen this show before, but it was an episode of World Championship Wrestling, and it was the Horsemen. I'm talking about the Horsemen, fucking Tully, Arn, Ole, and Ric Flair beating Barry Windham's ass. Like, it's like this shit was the first gang in wrestling was the Horsemen, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I got sidetracked because that was such a great angle. They were heading into Ric Flair versus Barry Windham, but just that's when I was, even when they came here for Dynamite and Collision, it gives you that intimate kind of feel there. Yeah, that's really missing in wrestling, and it's like and you only get that kind of feel when you go see the indies. You get that
right.
So when AEW puts on these events where they have these just they're in a centralized location every single week, you can go watch AEW. That's cool to me because, like I said, it gives you that old school kind of like it's so different than when WCCW would run the Sportatorium in Dallas. Yep. Same kind of situation. Like, this is our homegrown promote, even though it's not. They're based out of Jacksonville, but this is our homegrown.
And that's what it felt like. That's really truly what it felt like. So by the time they ended this thing out and they brought like a promotion from the area that people knew and loved, bro, you can't get no better than that. And they sold out. Every show that they had.
Right.
So they're doing a lot of good things. They really are doing a lot of good things. And just focusing on AEW. They haven't mentioned WWE. They haven't mentioned anybody else. They just been focusing on AEW and being the best company that they can be. And it's been working for them.
And that's all you have to do at the end of the day, man. Like, don't worry about what they're doing.
Yep.
Worry about what you're doing, saying your lane, keep putting on, keep getting better at your storytelling and everything you got going on, and you're Gucci at that point.
Yep. The Tommaso Ciampa, that move, that was a big move, man. So when he debuted on Dynamite and then to go into Collision in Arlington and win that strap, bro, that's a huge deal. Huge deal.
And he said he had been thinking about it for a while. Like, I think what Tommaso is saying is I basically reached my potential in WWE. I know I'm not going any further. They're not utilizing me like I should be. And I wouldn't be surprised if Gargano was another one that jumps.
His name's on the block.
Well,
So it's
but these people are these are just internet sleuths that are
true,
speculating.
true,
The Trust Me Bros. They're speculating.
true.
This is what's going to happen. I'm talking about, like, I'm pretty sure that's his friend. They've
Yep.
had these discussions.
Oh,
Gargano
and
knew Ciampa
yeah,
was leaving.
yeah,
You know,
and if that's my friend and I see that debut, I
yeah,
definitely want in.
right.
I definitely want to. Oh, that's how they're treating them? Hell yeah, I'm out. I'm out of here. One name that I'm really interested in to see what's going to happen, because they've been making waves themselves outside of WWE and the work that they're doing in WWE, and that's Bayley. I know her contract's up this year. I would not be surprised if we see a Bayley move too.
I listen. When I saw what Michael Hayes, stuck in the rut, had to say about Chelsea Green,
Oh my goodness.
bro, like, the fuck are you talking about? That she can't, she's not a Charlotte or Tiffany Stratton. Like, bro, are you kidding me right now? This woman here can work. I'm never bored when I'm watching Chelsea Green. Like, she has it all, my guy. What are you talking about?
My
And
goodness,
it's a damn shame. People do what they want. I get it. It's a business. I totally understand it, man. Trust me, I get it. But I wish she had to sign that contract. I wish she could go somewhere else and get over. Is that right there? That's some bullshit right there. And Chelsea's one of these people that actually looks out for the talents. She's, just hearing what she does when people get released. She gives them information on where to go to get booked.
Yep.
You don't hear people doing things like that. That's a genuine human being right there. She's one of the good ones.
Yeah. And it's weird, man. It's weird that you don't give her the opportunity.
Right. Yeah.
That's
weird. You don't give her the opportunity. But whatever.
Yeah, that's weird to me. It's like, and I'm pretty sure she's not the only one. And if you look at what Bayley did with that lodestone thing that she did, I'm like, the writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
The writing's on the wall, because she's taking matters into her own hands. She's putting women on, on a pedestal. And you're starting to see this around everywhere but WWE, bro. It's like the women in the industry are starting to band together and build themselves. And it's awesome to see.
Yeah. No, it really is. There's so many different women out there that just they never get utilized to their potential. Bailey is one of them. I don't think she gets utilized to her potential. I don't think Asuka gets utilized to her potential. I mean, Asuka used to be a monster in NXT, and she's just another one lost in the shuffle here. And it's so, what's so crazy to me, bro, is that we used to always say that Triple H knew what he was doing with the talents, and then Vince would bring them to the main roster. And I'm thinking to myself, was that really the case?
That was my thought exactly. I was just about to ask that.
Yeah.
Like, is it just me, or is it like I'm starting to wonder if Triple H really was the guy making these moves in NXT?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of wondering,
I'm kind of wondering how much input and influence does Shawn Michaels have? Because it seems like Shawn Michaels knows what the hell he's doing.
You know what? I don't know. And that's tough too, because if you look at NXT right now is the better show. It's a more entertaining show. But based on what's happening on the main roster, I have to ask, is Shawn the one making this happen?
Because looks like it's me.
We thought this about Triple H, and it is not translating.
Well, but it's like Bruce Pritchard says, hey, listen, if Triple H never would have married Stephanie, he would have still been the guy to take over the business one day. Bullshit. Bullshit. There was nobody in there, in my opinion. There was only two people that really loved the business like that you could see taking over, and that was Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart. Period.
Fact.
Period. Triple H didn't even look into the equation. Triple H got where he got because Triple H he dicked down Stephanie, and that's what happened. Period.
People say he has a mind for the business.
I'm not saying he don't, but I will tell you this. I will tell you this. Other than the dick down part, I will tell you this. Kevin Nash tells the story all the time when they met, Paul back in the day. They said Paul says one day I'm gonna run the business. He had that mentality all the way back in '95. So that's what he said.
Ambition.
So there you go. Ambition. All right. Now how he got there, hanging around the White House and shit, what all this stuff he does now, he never envisioned. He won high, bro. Like he won like the ultimate prize there to actually be able to do that.
Definitely.
But does he deserve it? No.
Hey, I mean, I
can say that. I can say that.
On it.
I can say that because I have no intentions of ever working for WWE, so you can't blackball my ass. I don't give a shit.
I can't hate on it. I honestly can't. You did what you did. More power to you, bro. But I'm just saying, all I'm saying is if that was what he was doing in NXT, why is something blocking him on the main roster from doing what he wants? It shouldn't be. Because he's the guy
because he don't give a shit about that anymore. He has his favorites, bro. He has his core favorites of people that listen. Vince had his guys he can depend on, and Triple H has his guys that he can depend on. But a lot of those guys that he depends on were Vince people. So it's the ones like Bruce Pritchard and Michael Hayes that are probably still going back and telling Vince what's going on behind the scenes. You probably still got Vince having some kind of influence on some of this shit that's going on.
So he's telling them to do this.
Yeah, Vince is still a big part. Don't get this shit twisted. Vince is still a big part of WWE.
I agree.
Don't get it twisted. He's still one of the biggest shareholders in TKO. So you don't get this twisted. You know what I'm saying? But the man doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He's just like, listen, the guy is no different than Dave Filoni. All right. Don't know what the hell he's doing.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to say that. It really is. Because we both thought highly of NXT Black and Gold.
Absolutely. We used to watch that. That was the only wrestling show.
That was the only show
I was watching religiously every Wednesday.
That was the only show
on the WWE Network. That's the only one because I gave up on TNA.
Yep.
When they went from being on Spike TV and then they went to the Barbecue Network, which was Destination America, I gave up on watching it.
Agreed.
Barbecue Pit Masters used to be on Destination America.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so that's why I call the Barbecue Network.
Oh man! All right, let's wrap this up. Let's get into some final shots and thoughts.
Listen.
Programming notes. We have a new show coming from the homie Frank D and the homie Gibbs entitled Rebel Empire. We will be doing the first episode here soon. So stay tuned. We will be releasing that on the DFPN network. Real quick network note. We will be revamping our YouTube channel. We are already in the process of revamping the channel. Going back, looking at some of the content. We're going to try to function more like a network, an actual network to where you can watch our shows, watch what we've done, and have a good stream of content on the DFPN YouTube channel. So stay tuned for that. We will be back this Thursday. Myself and JJ, we will be covering some MPX. And then Saturday, at the Texas Rumble, we will do a live show from the Texas Rumble. Shout out to MPX and allowing us to come in and do that. So we have a lot coming from No Gimmicks this week in particular. Is a big week for MPX as they get ready to move towards their biggest event of the year, Texas Rumble, and a lot of surprises already geared up. Don't forget you have Global Wars from ROH, and MPX is a part of that. We are a sponsor of the show, so want to make sure that we get you guys directed over there. Once again, shout out to Metroplex Wrestling, man. They have been nothing but gracious to us over here at No Gimmicks, and it's been an amazing ride. So shout out to them. But we are back in the swing of things here on the DFPN. All your favorite shows are coming back for 2026. We have a big year planned out. This hopefully will be our biggest year yet. So thank you guys for tuning in, stopping in. Frank D, what you got?
Yeah, like I said, we're going to be doing the first episode, the pilot episode of Rebel Empire that's coming here to the DFPN. We're also going to be shipping, or I should say, shopping that out to TNT, TBS. Let's see,
Yes.
AMC. We're gonna be shopping around, different places. Now I'm bullshitting, but we do have, the Rebel Empire coming. Myself and Gavin, we're gonna be talking about, the Star Wars. We don't have any idea yet. Haven't spoken to them yet, as far as what we're gonna do on the first show. But listen, we're just probably gonna talk about Star Wars, and we're just gonna talk about is Dave Filoni the New Hope. Can they right the ship here? Can they turn this thing around for what they've done to the brand that George Lucas says? And then the thing that I want to bring up too is that people say, well, Kathleen Kennedy ruined Star Wars, but George Lucas ruined Star Wars with the prequels. Now, here's why I'm going to bite back on that right quick. This is just a little something. If George Lucas had ruined Star Wars with the prequels, Star Wars would not have been worth $4.8 billion to sell to Disney.
True.
Period. Okay?
True.
So that thing was printing money. So these are some of the things we're going to talk about. As we're going to talk about, just the inside, what we think. I got inside information. I got a source that knows people at Lucasfilm. I know things that I can't talk about because they'll get me. They're going to chop off my thumbs. But we're going to talk about these things. We're going to talk about just the lore. We're going to talk about why we love Star Wars, why it's the greatest franchise in the world outside of the Power Rangers. That's what we're gonna talk about. You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait to do it. We're gonna do the pilot episode. My man right here is gonna be the producer, the director. We're gonna probably react to some of these AI videos, which we can do. It's fair use. We can do it. So we're gonna be doing. It's gonna be fun. Rebel Empire. It's gonna be a fun show. It's gonna be it's gonna be kind of like a throwback. So if you want some good Star Wars content, you want to have the Sith and the Jedi do our thing. And have the Senate here, directing the damn thing. Come check us out.
Cool, man.
That's pretty much it.
I can't wait for this one. I've been
you've been pumping them promos out, man. It's like the way you've been pumping these promos out, bro. It's like back in the day when they used to pump out them promos for Power Rangers Zeo.
Yeah,
like,
I've been excited. Man. I'm like, let's get this show rolling, bro. Let's go.
Right. We, and just I don't know, AI. We listen. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun show. I can't wait to do it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Anything else?
No, that's it, man. Just remember out there, people would help control the pet population. Have them pets spayed or neutered. Okay, remember that. Also, don't forget to listen, we're trying to build a Death Star 3. All right? we're working on it. We got some rebels we got to get.
Yes.
All
right, man.
That's it, bro. Just doing my thing, just printing shit, printing over here, printing over there. Just I'm always printing something, bro. I literally have like 4 Darth Vader armors, like just sitting on the floor of my closet. Why? I don't know. I got helmets up the ass. I just print, bro.
Hey, keep
And if
doing
you
it.
want to help me, print, hey, all you gotta do, cash at me. All right. $, what is it, FDC 38, I think it is. Yeah.
Yep.
You can donate to your boy.
Help him.
Because Sith
Help
ain't
him
easy.
All
But I ain't got nothing else, bro.
right, man. I got nothing else. So thank you guys for tuning in to the No Gimmicks podcast here on the DFPN. Come back next time, but you know what it is. Until then, take care of each other. Be safe. Enjoy what you're going to enjoy. Peace.
And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmicks, gimmicks.